everybody. Today is November 19th, 2014. I'd like to welcome everybody to the World Information Network Family Reunion Review. I'd like to start by first recognizing the members that are here tonight who made the historic Wynn Family Reunion major event possible. It was high class all the way, and it was the most valuable experience. So I'd like to recognize the following people for their appreciated efforts in making the event a huge success. So first of all, we have Dan. And we have Ed. Beverly. Dorothy. And a man with a vision, the fortitude to see it all through, Mr. Barry Carell.
Yeah.
If you were at a family reunion, you are undoubtedly still basking in the afterglow of a life-changing event. If you weren't there in person, you are probably still able to feel the energy and the positive vibration that is right now permeating this room, radiating from those who are lucky enough to attend the event in person. Today we're going to recreate and relive a family reunion. We do this through the eyes and recollection of those who were there. So soak it in and feed off what you're about to hear, as our fellow like-minded Wynn members recall and recreate this most memorable event, because it is sure to lift, benefit, and inspire you. For those of you attendees who are here, I'd like tonight's meeting to be mainly about sharing family reunion, the emotional experience. Share it like you're giving a testimonial. What was it like? What did you get out of it? What did it mean to you? Along with recalling the emotional experience, we can hit the high points the speakers presented, but let's save the detailed information for another meeting. Let it be your intention to share your experience with real, accurate emotion. Tonight, let's relive this special event and the bonding that took place between those in attendance. Feel it as you convey your experience, so that those who hear your words can make a real connection and understand the significance of the experience, and better understand what this awesome club has to offer each one of us and mankind in general. Let's start by setting the physical stage of what it was like being at Las Vegas, staying at the Red Rock Hotel, the guest rooms, the conference room, the banquet room, the recognition ceremony, the Wynn Adventures, etc. After setting the physical stage, then we'll move on to everyone's personal memories and experience. So let's begin with setting the physical stage for the Wynn 2014 Family Reunion. So who would like to start? Dorothy.
You mind if I take the podium? So glad to see all of you, our friends who were with us in spirit in Vegas, and our friends who gathered and got to give these heart-to-heart hugs to each other. And I, again, with everyone here, want to thank Perry Crowley, my dear husband, for the effort, the thought, the emotion, and for me, I can say he put everything he could, every part of himself, every particle of energy, every particle of his heart, into creating this organization for us. Yeah. This wasn't on the horizon when I first met you, Per. Didn't Didn't know you had it in you. I knew there was a lot there, but this is something. The creation of this organization is the nexus of coming out of quite a trial by fire, trial by experience. You learn by doing. I think Perry's always said a joke, often from a movie, you learn by doing, that's wisdom. And that's what he did. This wise man didn't have some college background, some family background, some background that would lead you to just say, oh, he can pull that out of his hat. He's been through these kind of things over and over and over. He knows how to do it. In fact, this whole creation came out of his heart and his networking of people and believing and just going to that deep place within inside himself and inside of all of us and finding what we're really made of. Because there was a lot of resistance to getting this created from the very beginning, and even coming down to our primary choice of where the physical location was going to be. There was this organization named World Information Network and this place called the Win. We thought we wanted the Win. We thought we wanted the Win. And in fact, the Red Rock Resort was the perfect location for our beginning. It was rock solid and it rocked. The venue was so cool. We had people help us negotiate with getting the place set up and getting the right to have our event there. Until we had the honor of being picked up by the Red Rock staff in this beautiful Cadillac Escalade to be swept into the hotel and have the doors swung open and basically the carpet rolled out. We didn't know what this hotel looked like. So everything was a joy when we walk in the room and there's this beautiful reception space for us to where I had to check into our suite and people starting to help us with the final details. And these beautiful selenite lamps and the energy in the room was just like, okay, we're setting the stage, okay, we're getting here. It's all comfortable, there's nice water, and there's nice coffee, and kind faces. So we get swept up to our beautiful, beautiful space with 2 rooms and this huge bed, this big couch, and big windows that look out onto the Las Vegas Strip. So the colors change and the lights change, and the energy was just awesome. The place treated us like honored guests. This wasn't your Vegas idea. This was a location where our international guests had a convenient airport to fly into. Yeah, it's Vegas, but this is that other part, that jewel, that gem within the hard, dry sand out there. We had space that was wide and free and clean. We had skies that were bright and clear. We had sunsets that you see pictures of the colors, the clouds. So that was just the start of getting settled into this emotional, okay, we've arrived, we can calm down, we can do this, we can do this. Well, there was details we had to take care of in the preparation for getting that spread of food and the rooms ready and finding the space, but there was help everywhere. And as far as conference space, the distance between the hotel rooms and the elevators and the food, it was all very comfortably paced out. You didn't have to walk and walk and walk and walk in order to get someplace. And if you really got your feet tired, you could say, hey self, there's that spa. Oh yeah, there's that spa. And a few of us went down and with our guest rooms and as part of our resort agreement, we had internet in our rooms, newspapers, and this spa was one of those that set the stage for luxury. It was part of our room, and you go in there and there's this beautiful, beautiful locker room, if you call them locker rooms, dressing rooms with beautiful music playing and a beautiful reception area and products you might want to buy if you wanted to do the massage. But just to go in and use that space, you just have to take your room key and say, hello, I'm a guest here. And there was this beautiful men's locker room with hot steam room and a sauna, and a whirlpool, large whirlpool that was just in there, and cabanas and the outdoor saltwater lap pool. He was just like, okay, feet, I've done my walking, now I get to go bubble along, and get hot tea and apples, and there was just little perks all along the way, and the coloring, I think the nuances of just the red, gold, brown, the earth tones that went along with the whole space just kind of set us into a mood of, okay, we're okay, everything's. Then you can see these sparkles of crystals all over, the crystal chandeliers, the sparkling, beautiful orchid arrangements that they had sitting around, dotting our space. Then there was the actual staging, and our good friend, new friend from Las Vegas, an original born Clevelander, his son, Perry can brief more about our friend there, had helped, and he and Perry had worked very hard preparing the staging and the sound system and all the details that went on along with being able to create a world-class event and record it. So we accomplished what we hadn't even known we set out to do. But as it unfolded, all the steps and the people that were needed just kind of kept coming into Perry and saying, I can help too, this is my skill. I can help too, this is my skill. We had badges that were world class. We had tablecloths that had our logo on it that were prepared. The staging had sparkle and movement and light, and the lighting was just present time state of the art. And that, just goes to set the stage for us arriving. Then there was the catering, which Kay Bowman out of California, a caterer, had worked with us and worked with the Red Rock and prepared our catering for the event, which in the background, once it's all spread out, looks easy. But we decided to do this event top shelf. And when people arrived on Friday to get there and check in and get your badge and socialize, we were prepared for you. There was a small salad and these shooters with a shrimp, if you like a shrimp cocktail. It was a singular nice shrimp cocktail. There was hummus and Indian spread for people that like that kind of vegetarian foods. There was little sandwiches, just small enough that if you had one or two, you just, and lemonade, various flavors of lemonade, waters. So we hosted our family as to arriving on Friday. Then Saturday morning, everybody's anticipating the speakers and friends. We've got this sparkle, and we've got these new friends, we've got people that have come in from all over the world arriving. More arrived again on Saturday, and I'll let others tell more about that part of the experience, because it was a spark that ignited like a supernova star. But I don't want to go there because that would mean that we're expanding fast and we're actually becoming something that's never been before. We're the beginning of the beginning of the beginning of something really is truly going to change our lives, change our areas, and change what happens with our own families and our own friends in the future. Even clubs like 4-H, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Knights of Columbus, Masons, these all groups all began with a small group of people who got an idea and said, hey, we'd like to start a club. We'd like to join together. We'd like to start a club. Well, we all started from a different club, or most of us did, and we decided we really liked that. We really, really like being adults and having this steps where we get recognition, where we get awards. And I think Harry did a top-notch job with our jeweler, Adrian Ortega of Rocky River, with the jewelry, our pins. So all these little sparkles, all kind of like felt like part of the whole create. And then our food on Saturday, we had a lovely breakfast kind of foods available midday. Then come the evening, again, talk about create. Whoa. And I'm not going to since that was so spectacular, let others comment about Saturday's incredible experience in the Cherry nightclub. And the other thing that came to be at the very last minute, we were working with the Red Rock people, and we were working with our requirements and our commitments, and I said, could we possibly add a breakfast on Sunday? For next thing you know, we've got Sunday morning, everybody's getting up. It's 8:30 in the morning, and we've come to this fabulous room with windows that look out on palm trees, the pool, and the Red Rock Canyon, those beautiful red and colorful rocks. And everybody's sharing their experiences, whether they had come from New Zealand or Australia or Brazil or the United States of America, the many points we came in from. Everybody was starting to mesh and bond in our hearts. We're all starting to work together as one. And we were all excited to sit down at our tables and share in champagne that World Information Network had so generously gifted to founding members. So on Sunday morning, everybody's still sparkling and popping champagne toasts, and off they sweep to meet up with several energy workers who helped expand and usher us into another version of affirming our heart-bound network, our heartfelt familyness, and to help each one of us to get a little bit more anchored and grounded in present time. Then in the afternoon, a few of us decided we're going to have a win family adventure because we're winners. And we got on our boots, and we did need some jackets because it was a tiny bit cooler than we would like to depend, but those horses didn't mind. And once you saw the smiling faces of the people on the horseback, I think that those who did get to take part in that created something that's going to be an idea to just keep going with, to have some kind of outing at the end of our major events so that those who can be there can mastermind and laugh and play and be childlike. So that's what I got out of the basic emotion and motion and sparkle of our first World Information Network event.
My lanyard from the event. All right, very good, thank you very much. Who's next?
Go ahead, man. Wow. You guys really were booting it up on Friday. I couldn't get there till Saturday morning, so I let you guys get worked up and energized, like you said. And you guys really were. Saturday morning, I could just walking into, right off the plane, in suit, walking into the event hall, you just feel the energy. And all these people, I'm going, wow, okay. So there's the whole group's here. We got a lot of people to meet. I'm gonna eat some breakfast real quick before I take it up. That was really cool. So you're having the food right there and before the speakers, so the convenience was amazing. With the energy, it was really hard to describe. You know, just you walked in the door or into the hotel, and you can tell that this is five-star class. Drop your luggage, get to the event. Just all, just marble everywhere, and just elegant. The room was excellent when we got in there. I was asking myself on the way, on the flight very early in the morning. As I got closer, I could just feel the excitement. And at some point I asked myself, do we have the power within us to elevate each other and ourselves, and then others as a group, and then affect others around us in the world? And when I walked into that room, I said, oh yeah, this is off the chart. It was just something you couldn't even describe. And then you got to greet everybody. And we sat down with start with the speakers. And the content was just so all over the top and scientific, specific, relevant with a lot of the quantum physics and stuff that we're discussing right now in our training. It would just it went hand in hand. You know, some of the stuff that when he was saying, some of the quotes, some of these speakers, was like, man, I was just hearing that research from somebody else off of the internet, or Dr. Nelson Bradley, you know, and he was saying some quotes. And one quote I thought was really cool from Howard Martin, was from Steve Jobs. And I got later found out where it was from. I think it was 2004 Cambridge speech. Dr. Nelson Bradley was talking about this also before I went and heard it brought up again. He says, have courage to follow the heart and intuition. They already know what you want to be, want to become. Everything else is secondary. And I thought that was a really cool theme for what we're doing here before we started going into the heart and coherence. The food was excellent. And, you know, it's just this energy just kept going and going and going. I was just kind of, you can feel yourself kind of raising up in energy. You know, like I say over the weekend, it takes like 3 days. You know, I had 2 days, but you can feel the energy, you know, day after day. You're raising your vibration and it sticks after that. But it usually takes a couple of days. Well, I can feel it each hour, I swear. You know, we did the training, and then there was a break. There was a break for some, and then to the dinner, the banquet ballroom. And then that, you could just feel that even higher as we greet everybody coming in to see the decorations and everything for the stage and the awards banquet. You just see everybody's going, wow, look at this place. Decorations and the food. It was just amazing. And a great time there. And it just kept going all night. The energy, when you just deal with people and, you know, dancing and talking with people and just cutting loose, you can just feel the energy bounce off of each other, where it was like something I'd never really felt before. I've been to all the events since I joined, and each one is something different. But this was completely something way new, and something that's a new, something I've never experienced before with the old club. Period. You know, the details that the staff and Perry did and went to make this success. I can't even imagine all the work that went into it, but you can see it. It was really, really clear as it unfolded for you. You know, the relationships were awesome. Building, you know, you meet people from Australia and New Zealand. Your horseback riding with, well, that's the next day, but you know, the morning breakfast was amazing. You know, Saturday night I could see nobody wanted go to sleep early, so people were just everywhere scattered out late. You know, so it's great to have a good breakfast in the morning, especially when we had this power circle at about 9:30. So the practitioners were giving their free energy work, and that was another powerful thing. You know, when I got to that point, I really recognized the energy that was around us and some extra help that was around us. It was just amazing. We actually, I can give a detail on that. There's probably 20 people in a suite. We finally sat around and held hands, and we set an intention growing this club to over 1,000 to 1,500 people within the next year. And you can feel it in the room as we did this with this heavy breathing exercise. You can feel the power and the love and the certainty in the room. That was going to be an accomplishment that was going to happen. And then, you know, we started doing some best treatments on individuals, but by then we had 20 people, so the people that were waiting till later that had treatments had so much more power in their intention and what they wanted to work on than earlier. And it was just amazing. It was like amplified. But from that moment on, you know, I finally had that Saturday realization. This is later, I had an epiphany, like probably later the next week. I was outside, out doing leaves and stuff for customer for hours, just soaking in nature, and I had this thought. I don't know if anybody else realized this, or if this kind of resonates with anybody. What if, on a spiritual side, or because well, there was with the pictures, there's even pictures that where I'm showing the others that I blew up. There's pictures with orbs in these things from the whole event. Throughout the ball, horseback rides, it's absolutely amazing. So there's some energy that was around us. You can actually see this, but I can feel it. So I couldn't, if nothing else, you couldn't really show it. But you can see some of that in the pictures. But this epiphany was, what if on the energetic side, the invisible, the spiritual side, all these entities got together and they were planning to join us. At the same time, you guys, were putting this all together, scrambling every little detail. And we're going to gather in the desert on Halloween, and it's going to be 3 days. Everybody from around the world is going to be there. And what if the entities of these spirituals group, 600 of them, I'd say 10 times the amount, gathered at the same time with us and are around us and helped us raise our energy and our vibration and our love. Because that's what it felt like. And I've said to myself, I think that really happened. Because that would be the only way I can explain the feeling when we got all these people together for the first time in history. And we had that kind of an event ever, inaugural in history, that ever felt. So, and then, Sunday, people started going different directions. Some people were leaving, getting contact information, leaving cards, and then we had horseback riding. It's great, excellent suites for the founders. Thank you, Wynn and Perry. What an upgrade. And I've got some kind of extra big suite, like presidential suite, so this something came in real handy for some gathering and laying back, kind of kicking back before the horse ride for everybody, and then afterwards some socializing after dinner that night, where everybody was just kind of relaxing, and we were sharing. Everybody had to bring a bottle of champagne. We had all these extra bottles of champagne from our gift baskets. It was so cool. But everybody was just it was more mastermind, family mastermind after the horse ride. Here in Perry, talk about how he came about, how he found his training in the center, and actually physically finding the center, where he did some training, and where he found it in the parking lot, drove about an hour over there, but then he turned around, and there's nobody here. And he turned around, his voice said, "No, you came here for a reason." Went back over, I see some people that. It's 2 or 3 times. So he ended up going in there and did some of his training, which we're going to incorporate. But he was also talking about where he came from, how this has worked for him, and where we're going to go with this in the training, what it's going to do for the club as a whole, in the world in the future, and what this is going to do to change things. And that was just a Sunday evening thing, and people were still around on Monday. We ran around and had a small group that had a car, and went around looking at some sites, and went to Old Town with Ed, discussing some of our cool stuff. You just get to know people more than you never thought, things and inventions and family project he wants to do with his kids, and talk about robots and all kinds of other stuff. So it was really, really cool. That was the stage of the energy setting stage, and the background for which we were in for the whole weekend. It was just undescribable, other than seeing a few orbs and pictures that could give a little backup for people if you didn't believe me, if you weren't there. And it was electrifying. So that's the second stage.
celebration, a lot of energy, a lot of, the event was really impactful on, you can really feel it. All right. You don't have to come up here if you don't like, if you don't want to, but if somebody else would like to, give some thoughts.
I don't really want to go up there, but I just would say, like to say thank you for the upgrades in the room. And it was like a family reading because it was small. It wasn't thousands of people, and you really got to meet and talk and spend some time with about everybody. And I think we made a lot of really good friends and started some good relationships. So thank you. And it was nice being away from all of the blitz and that of the strip. It was nice being away from and having a more private and personal touch. So you had a really perfect choice for that. So thank you.
And away from the cold.
Pardon?
Away from the cold, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Well, we just went from Ohio weather to Ohio weather. That's why I
It
look
wasn't
at
snowing.
it. It wasn't snowing, yeah.
I guess I could count a few things. I brought a paper here. Just to say a couple of things. Because you were all part of this. It wasn't just me. Without you folks, it was all of us, really. And some of you were in the room when we put an intention out there. So you guys write this 7 times for 7 days. No. I'm gonna tell you what we wrote a few months ago.
Oh,
Yeah, you didn't remember. You can write something else. That's the cat. But if you remember, we offered attention out there. Just to show you, what did we have in this room that day? 20 maybe, 25, 30, maybe 30, I don't know. It was a pretty crowd that night. So let's put an intention out there. Let's put a command out there, if you will. And I copied it, so reading right off, my 7 writings. And we said the Win event in Vegas will be great. My God, was it great? I don't just say that to say that. A lot of times you do a thing and then afterwards you think, all right, maybe I could have done this different, that different. I really don't like that, added a little bit here or there, but after the event I got to thinking, what would I have done differently? And I thought, nothing. I really wouldn't. I can't think of one thing that I would change. Everybody was perfect. It was unbelievable. Dorothy talked a little bit about how people just started coming out of the woodwork. You want a quintessential, this is how it works once you have a decision made and put some intention behind it. It starts out with a thought. The thoughts come and go. You grab that thought. I talked a little bit about this during the event, about thoughts being seeds that you plant in the garden of your mind. The water is belief. The fertilizer is emotion. Make them grow bigger, faster, quicker, better. But the intention is what counts. You make that decision, you got to put some intention behind it. There was a lot behind this because, Jesus, it happened exactly that way, if not more so. I should have wrote a date. I was thinking I should write a day-to-day diary, on how the inception of this club, the present. You guys wouldn't believe some of it. And I started to. I got one day in there, and then I got so busy I didn't do it anymore. But so many things happened that were just unbelievable. Last-minute things. Like, to get this thing to where it is what I'm saying. I'm not going over the event per se here. I'm just giving you a little idea of what it took to get to this point. And there were things that would have shut probably most things down as soon as they happened. Like at the last minute, I had everything all set, the developer all set and everything before we even got the website going. It might have been a week before it was supposed to go up and all the grids were there and the logical step-by-step stuff. He says, don't worry we'll have it all together, and then all of a sudden he said, I can't do it. I mean, at the last minute when I told everybody we're going to have a website up in like the first week of May, I got a week's notice that I got to start from scratch. And Mr. Marconi came through. I mean, here's one thing, I've known that for several years. I didn't know he could do what he did. I do. I mean, you know, we were working for me and my other business and stuff. I knew he had talent. I knew he could do things with the computer. I didn't know he could do that. I didn't do it in the first place. You know, I mean, so that was like one issue with them. There were a lot of other issues. So you want to talk about things like coming out from nowhere, things you couldn't have foreseen, things that weren't in your immediate knowledge about, or people you knew, or anything else. I mean, so as I started to put this event together, I thought, you know, we need a really big event with some new blood there, if you will, some new, I don't know if you want to say renowned, but well-known and well-respected speakers that would be in line with the training this club was going to give out. You know, the folks that are in it know what the training is about. You know, out of this training, it's like so dense, it's almost like, you know, a compressed star. I mean, it's huge. You got to go an hour of this, might as well be 13 hours of something else put out competitively. But anyway, I figured let's get some well-known speakers. And I went a little bit over this during the event, how direct grading came to be. But I think the point I'm trying to get to is that here's how it works when the intention is out there. And when you just totally, you're not going to stop. I mean, you're just going to do what it takes, whatever it takes. You're just going to do it. And even though you come across things that you have no familiarity with, no experience with, no nothing with, you just got to think, all right, I don't know how I'm going to get this done, but somehow. And people just started coming out of the woodwork, like Marconi for the website. Like when I decided, okay, we're going to do this Vegas event, Kay Bowman in California, just call me, she says, I do this is what I do. And then from Kay to Beverly, to Mark Warnett, Beverly who backed us up, still is backing us up, customer service, giving her time and effort, and volunteering it for the most part. Thank you so much. I wasn't here, but Mark coming through and a lot of different things we needed. Bruce, he's been holding these meetings together for years. And then as we got down the road a bit, Hassan came out of the woodwork. Right? Hassan handled all the audio, video for this thing, and then it was like just people were just coming out of nowhere. And then when we got to the event, yeah, they did. They treated us very well there. I mean, we'd never been to the Red Rock. We'd seen the pictures of it, of course, where they said, well, we don't get the idea. We didn't have an idea what it looked like in there. We had an idea from the photos, but when we got there, we were completely impressed because, you know, you can take a photo with a certain angle here and there, and it looks pretty great. But then you get there and you go, oh my God, it's a little better in the photo. The beauty of it was it looked better in person than it did in the photo when you got there. So we got there and it was awesome. We were treated like unbelievably well. And then like our audio video guy had a bunch of stuff going on, and his guy didn't show up. And then out of the blue, I'm getting people saying, well, let me help. I can help. John from New Zealand, and he was just totally gung-ho. Dan helped. Ed Marconi, everybody was just saying, oh, I can help. And they're all helping with the staging and all the background and all the decorations. And again, people are just coming out of the woodwork, and it's just, it's moving. It's like, when we talk about a family, this is like, does anybody have a family like this? I know that's how it's supposed to be. Really, right? Everybody was coming out of the woodwork to help and to do it gladly. There was no grudging. Like, you know, most families go mow the lawn. Right? Yeah, so, I mean, everybody just loved to help. Everybody just wanted to help. Everybody just wanted to pitch in. And I'm going, you know, everybody was thinking with their heart, just as Braden and Mr. Martin were talking about, the speakers we had there, everybody was thinking with their heart. Everybody was connected. And if you had an energy meter there, Dan was talking a lot about how it just seemed to keep going up and up, and it's almost as if you could feel like spiritual beings like around us. And I won't mind to say otherwise. You very well be absolutely right. But the interesting thing was, I mean, if you could have had a meter there that measured energy, I mean, I could see it each day going up. I could see it from the start of Friday night. I could see it when I hit that stage on Saturday to introduce our next speakers. I could see it by the end of the day, and I could see it by the banquet. That it just kept going up. I mean, we pegged that meter. I mean, if you'd have brought one that, you know, went to 12,500, you probably started out at about 5,000 or 6,000, and it just kept steadily going up and up and up and up and up. It was just amazing, and it was amazing, and it energized me for sure. You know, I'm going over all these details and everything else in my mind. I don't even know where I got the energy, but it was there for me to get, because everybody was connected. When you connect energetic fields, it doesn't just multiply. Here's where math doesn't quite do it justice. You would think, okay, we had 60 people or so there. Maybe multiply all that by 60, but it's like it multiplies in an exponential level. It's not just times 60, it's like times 60 to the 6th, 7th, 8th, 10th power. It just starts to multiply in that way, in an exponential way, not just a linear way, as it would in normal math. So the energy was just constantly going up for the availability of a higher vibration that we all were tapped into. You guys want to talk about a mastermind? That was a mastermind, because we weren't there discussing everything, really, at first. We were just there, totally connected, like working in perfect, like, unison. It's like when somebody was needed, they showed up. I don't even know if they knew why they were in that spot, but here they were, and hey, yeah, can you help? Yeah, hey, Dan, we could use, oh, yeah, here's John from New Zealand. Oh, yeah, let me help. And boy, I mean, just go on the site now. What do we got? 27, 9 testimonials up there. They're moving. I mean, they're moving. Almost every one of them, you can see their life was changed. And I don't just say that to say that. I say that because that's what I read there. I put the actual written, you know, I scanned them. You know, there are photographs in there, the actual written one, and since some of the handwriting is not all that easy to read, I had Dorothy transcribe them, and now you could read it typed with the words were. Some of them you just can't make, it's tough unless you got the paper there. And I did that so you could get the energy off of that photograph, of that writing, because that's the actual writing, with words they may have scribbled out and then wrote in this and wrote in that. Energy's there, and you can feel it, and you can go, oh my God, look at these testimonies. I've never read anything like it. You want to talk about heartfelt, emotional testimony? I mean, and I got a few more I haven't put in there yet, because I got some after-the-fact testimonies. One of the members go, I don't get it, I'm singing in the shower, and you really got to watch out in the shower when you're singing around trying to rearrange the words with win in it. And I mean, it's over the top. What do you read some of these? And the guy from Australia, or New Zealand, I mean, a couple of people there from Australia. One guy, John Malcolm from New Zealand, you should read what he's been writing as we go. I mean, he touched some of the things that happened to him, and he's still rolling. Right? Unbelievable. So you go in there, read them. I mean, it's on the public page. Read them. They're just great testimonies. At the center, click on them and read them. Scroll through them. There's little buttons in there like fast forward, and you can click forward, pause, or they'll automatically go. There's nobody that reads that fast, I don't think. Except maybe you read that fast. Yeah. So he's a photograph reader. He's, scrolling stuff. So Yeah, the energy was over the top. And as you said, Dan, it was something you never experienced before. And that experience is just what I was telling you. People were really projecting and connecting with the heart. They were connecting with what they really are. They were connecting with, well, what they are. And I guess we could use the term reactive mind as they do in Scientology, or we could use just all the crap that usually inhibits or hinders people from expressing what they are. It was like pushed so far, it was like out of the whole galaxy for everybody at the moment. They just pushed it so far away that everybody was at their top. I mean, you know that because I think everybody actually danced at the thing.
Even at Marconi.
Yeah, even that was going at the bar there. That's a good sign. So, I mean, all the way up, that was Saturday night, but then there was the Sunday thing. What we did Sunday was we had a couple of ladies that do energy work, Cheryl Wood and Krista. People know them, and they were doing an interesting thing. We got a suite for them just to do it, and so people would go out there between 9 and noon, because we had that horseback riding excursion. I think it was at 2 o'clock we started that. Got picked up to go do that. And I didn't know exactly how that was going to pan out or work out, but I went up there and I was with everyone in that circle, and it was an amazing thing, as Dan said. It was, everybody was connected in there, and that intention that went out was powerful. And talk about the connection. I don't know if you remember when we were talking about 1,000. As soon as everybody we concluded, I said, "Oh yeah, Greg just said he was going to be 500 of them," and that's exactly what he was thinking. And a couple of people picked that up. I picked that up because it was like that's how the connection was. We were all communicating. We didn't really need to do it with words there. So, everybody has these abilities. So these abilities were all coming out. And again, when you're connected like that, the way this club is, well, it doesn't matter the proximity really. It's great that you're in that proximity and we all felt it. But the people that are in this club are all connected. And it's really good energy. It's really good vibration from these people. These are good people that are all some higher ground, to reach some higher ground, and no doubt they're doing it. So, and to kind of clarify what Dan was talking about there a minute ago, he was telling me about something that I was saying where I pulled in a parking lot and I'm pulling back out. I'm sure nobody had any idea what he was talking about, but he sounded so enthusiastic about it, he just rolled with it. I don't know what he's talking about, but it sounds good. It feels good. That was something when I started to do a specific type of training, and it was at a specific location, and I wanted to do it for years and years. The book that related to this training I read like 30 years prior to, and I wanted to do it for 30 years. And it's interesting because when I first read this book, which is Dianetics, by the way, I thought, man, this is it. This is God. This is the answer. This really looks good. And it really sounds right. Feels good. Everything I thought, I'm going to do this. And then I started asking people about it. I'm in my 20s. I'm thinking, you ever hear of this? Dianetics? Scientology? And people say, oh, that's a scam. That's a cult. I say, oh, okay. Well, then I asked someone else. And finally, after asking 3 or 4 people, I get the same answer. Oh, that's a scam. That's a cult. And I just never really did anything. I just never pursued it. And here, 20 plus years down the road, I thought, it's time, because all that life had to throw at me was starting to pile up, and it was getting heavier and heavier, as you go through the years, depending on what you go through in life. I mean, some people have, obviously, heavier things happen to them earlier in life, so the weight is there earlier, but, I got all this weight, I'm thinking, I got to do something. None of these other things are really working. There's, for maybe temporary relief, I got to do this. Just got to give this a shot. And I remember I go down to the center there where I services that they offer. And I pull into the lot, it's like a 45-minute drive there, and I don't see any cars there, and I go, oh, nobody's here. I drive on. And I get down the street, you know, it's like you got those two sitting on your shoulder, like the devil and the angel going, oh, yeah, don't go in there, that's great. Why don't you get the hell in there? You know, that's, you know this has got a lot of potential or something, right? So I turn the car around, I'm thinking, the conversation was like, you know, you just drove 45 minutes, man, come on, just go in there and make sure. So I drive in there again. I pull in the lot and I do a really thorough through the lot. Yep, nobody's here. I'm back out of there. I'm telling you, this crazy mind, you know, these programs, they want to live. It's like they got their own little agenda. And then, I don't even get too far down the street. I pull across in some parking lot. I don't know, some car lot, drugstore, I don't know what it was. So I pull in the lot and I'm sitting there with my little debate going on. Right? And, you know, come on, get over there, go check it out. Just go in there, pull the door. You've driven 45 minutes, you know, and then the other voice said, oh, you can come back tomorrow. I said, no, it's a 45-minute damn drive. I'll have wasted an hour and a half just driving here today and then another 45. You know, I'm not going to waste my time. And it's a good thing it was 45 minutes, because if it was 10 minutes away from the house, I probably would have kept driving. I can go back tomorrow. I thought, okay, just go over there and pull on the door. I don't care if there's no cars in the parking lot. If it's closed, well, then it's closed. You gotta go, right? What are you gonna do? Right? Right, so I go there, and sure enough, the place was open, and that was the start of something pretty awesome in my life. Something that worked, something that was permanent, something that, again, I'm suggesting to the folks in the club, and I am operating at a level and training in the sense of certain workbooks that I know work because I've done it, and I haven't just done it myself, and it's just worked for me, it's worked for lots of people that I've seen do it. And these are simple workbooks, if you will, and processes and things that you will learn, like personal integrity and values, a personal values and integrity book, and I'm asking everyone to do for level 1 training, because I know this simple course, very inexpensive course. You don't have to join any clubs, any churches, any nothing. You don't join anything, you just do it. We've even got a coach and mentor that will answer your questions and walk you through it. And I'm telling you, if you do it and practice what's in there, it's going to change your life. And it's a $50 course, really, if you bought it directly. So it's very inexpensive. 75 bucks, we ship it to you, you get the, yeah. I'm getting beyond the red rose event show, the main event, but the point is, I'm trying to explain to you what Dan was saying. I mean, it's just like, it's like these things, well, they all kind of just come out of the woodwork for you. They all kind of fall into place for you. You just got to have that intention to push through and do them. And the results of just what's occurred so far. I mean, I told everyone that this level 1 stuff might well be level 12, because I'm starting people out really at the top with concepts that are very, very deep and take a considerable amount of contemplation to comprehend. But once you do, you're ultimately going to discover how powerful you are and what you are. And you just go from there, because everyone's got their own path, if you will, their own purpose, if you will. I mean, ultimately, you're involved in this club, and this club is about raising people, raising their ability, if you will, to be able to do what it is they truly want to do, based on their own experiences. We're all unique. We all here to really just play this game, but of course, it's about being happy and free ultimately, which is what this whole club's about. And this event really brought that home. I mean, it brought it home like to anybody that was there, and I think anybody that goes over the videos and the audios that we're going to release very soon, that they're going to see it as well. So giving something we have an abundance of, though. Giving love to people. We really want to see people do well. We really want to take this stuff in, to grab it and run with it, and become what it is they want to become. And here's a place they can get their start, their kickoff, and then help others to do the same, because this planet sure needs it. So you're part of a pretty awesome thing, and this event was just the start of it all. And proof of the power of just a few people who were in that room with this intention that we wrote out is right there. We'll have to make a few more of these as we go here. I think that's pretty close to the conclusion. What else can I tell you? Bruce is back there. He's kind of laying there, he's ready to go, you know. So I'll just lay back while he talks, right? Make my job easy. No, Bruce.
I just want to thank you for turning the car around a couple of times with that story, or so that we can actually be here with this group now and start realizing that we're supposed to be how powerful we are.
You're very welcome. I guess if we were to make a point with all that, or a moral of that story, is that, you know, you'll have parts of your mind that will fight you, because they're old habits, they're old programs, and they want to live. And they're easy, because even if they're not, even if they're detrimental to you, it's interesting. People don't want to give them up because it's all they have. I don't want to give that up. What's it doing for you? Nothing. In fact, it makes me miserable. I don't know, being miserable is probably better than not being in some people's kind of concepts of things. So just, you know, when you want to change something, you're going to come across some opposition. And it's like I started out telling you all the opposition that was there to get this event put together, to even get this club going. It was unbelievable. I mean, mostly the comments were positive. You know, there were those few that, you know, people were slinging things here and there. Don't listen to it. Don't wait 20 years to do something. You got the idea, run with it. Don't listen to it's a scam, it's a cult, it ain't gonna work, you can't do it. Because people love to, you know, keep people down a lot. I don't want to say people, that's too general. But there are those that would just assume not see you do well, because that would mean, well, they gotta do something then. And they like their little comfort zone. You know, as miserable as it might be, they like it. And don't stop. I mean, if you've got something you want to do, just put the intention out there and do it. And the proof that it can be done is that we pulled this one off. And, really. So, I love you guys, man. Good job,
Thank you, Gary. Who's else have any comments? Dodo?
Yes! Woo!
Boy, I mean, where do we begin? Oh my gosh. You know, actually, for me, this probably started way before the event. And just being in the unique position of being in the customer service was just, I'm just so grateful that you allowed me to do this job. It's, thank you. It has taught me a lot, and I've got to grow a lot, I think. And even just talking with the people before we even got to the event, when you talk to them now, people are so different. I mean, how could you be the same person? You just can't. You know, the first time I talked to John Malcolm, he called me up and he goes, oh my gosh, what's going on out there? I can feel the energy. I go, John, we're not even at the event yet. I know, but it's going to be good. I go, you're right, it is. It And I said, just wait till you see what we have planned. He goes, I just know. Oh my gosh, what can I do? And I go, well, you can come to but I am, sign up now. Okay, great. So, and here was this guy that we barely knew, and he's just running around all over the place, just making himself available. I mean, talk about family. It was like everybody pitched in. People were just pitching in and just coming out of the woodwork. And as energetic beings, you would just turn the corner and you say, well, I need such that, and then I'd walk down, oh, by the way, can you do this? Yeah. And I said, okay, I gotta do that. Oh, here comes this other person. And it's just, that's the way it was. And a lot of these people, I personally didn't even know. I talked to them. I didn't have a picture, I didn't know who they were, but you get in the elevator and it's like Margarita. You know, I just had this gut feeling. Great Britain, by the way. And she comes in and I looked at her and I went like that again. And I thought, you're here for the event? She goes, Beverly? And I said, oh my gosh. And you just kept getting this the whole time. Every time you turn on the corner, there was somebody. And my experience is different just because I was mostly behind the scenes. And it was a great opportunity for me just to have fun because it's just what I like to do anyway. It's how unusual. But so just running and just making sure that people were where they were supposed to be, doing what they were supposed to be doing, and if someone else needed help. And again, for those that just showed up, they were just, it was a family. They're just all ready to help. And believe it or not, we were getting calls very last minute for people to come. And actually, you know, a few did come. And they had no clue about the club. It was really Greg Braden that they wanted to see. And, you know, I made a point to go up to them and make sure, you know, they were having a good time. And especially the second day when I asked, I said, well, you know, thank you for coming. I hope you had a great time. And the one gal, Trish, I don't know if you got a chance to meet her, a little bit, but anyway, she came, and she's not a member. She's just a Greg Braden fan. She actually lives in Las Vegas. And she says, you know, I have been doing these seminar things for 15 years, and I have never in my life met a group of people that were so energetic, so loving, so giving. She goes, I don't even know you people, and you feel like my family. And for me, you go around, and it was the hugs. You know, I had to hug everybody. You know, you got to hug everybody. But I felt so much energy from these hugs, and for the lack of sleep that we've all had for, you know, a couple months prior to, and as it was getting there, we're dwindling, and there we want to make sure things are right, and we're running around, and, you know, hug after hug, there's the energy just went up, oh, great, now I can go do this, you know, and then you start running down again, somebody gives you another hug, and there you're off again, so it was great, and just, it's all the little moments that you didn't even know. Just, you know, I wanted to make sure that when people came in and knew where they were going, and, you know, so I had the phone on me the whole time, just making sure that they got it to the hotel, that they were going and doing what they were doing. And John Malcolm's, Beth, where are you? I know you're in here somewhere. I don't know what you look like, but I'm going to find you. I'm here. Well, where's the party? I go, well, there's no party, but there's a group of us if you want to come down and meet us. And when he came down, that smile. John, when you see this video, that smile, I'll never forget that smile. He's just got a smile that just lights up the room, really. And his energy was just so amazing. And as was everybody's. And I finally got to meet a lot of people that I had talked to over the past few months. And it was like I knew them. And the hugs that you were getting, they were like really strong family hugs. And you got the sense that you knew these people before. I've never met them before, outside of talking with them. But what can we do? How can we, you know, how can we help? And it was just like that constantly. And a son and his wife, oh my gosh. You always have to watch people who are quiet, because boy, they got a lot going on. His wife was just really amazing. You know, I just sit down and talk with her, and you talk about a gifted, talented woman outside of the sun. You know, she's the one that created the stage presence with the curtains, and and all that kind of stuff. And we had a lot of fun. We had some funny moments, like when we were putting up the curtain thing, and kind of fell over, you know, and we're like, oh, how are we gonna get this up? And we're all, it just doesn't matter what problem was going on. We had a solution, and everybody was just, you know, working together to solve it, and that's what we did. And I'm kind of looking around and thinking, wow, you know, there's a lot of details in the details. And you always know there's a Dorothy around with the food, you know. Those are those details. I'm looking around and seeing the decorations and stuff, and I thought, okay, now that can't be a son. Who did this? And then I looked at his wife, and I'm looking, I'm like, there is a silent giant right there. So I had to make sure I talked with her, and I found out she's even sewing all this stuff. I mean, the curtains were like about as high as the ceiling behind Perry, and I go, you did that? How do you sew something like that? You know, and then in the cherry lounge, and she made it, oh my gosh, it looked like a wedding reception. Silk, you know, chair covers, and all the little details on the table, and the buffet, and the stages you can see from the pictures here. I mean, the lighting, and oh, it's just fantastic. And you just thought like you were going into this really great event, which you were. But coming into the cherry lounge, and you looked at that tunnel, and you just entered, and it was that round thing, and then when you walked in and you saw this elegance, you know, with the food and the chairs and the decorations, and you thought, wow. I didn't think it could get any better. It just kept going up and up and up and up and up with everything. It was just, and I'm getting emails just almost still daily from people still buzzing. You know, wow, I'm still buzzing. And I said, yeah, I am too. It's just, we're just never going to stop talking about this for years to come, really. And I mean, did you ever think you were going to be doing this in a million years? I mean, you were just trying to save a club's materials. Little did you know you're going to be starting to create your own, and, you know, another club, and an event, doing so many things you have never, ever done before. I mean, we all did. And I admire you because you were facing some pretty hefty things along the way. So many things that so many people could have easily said, you know what, this is really getting to be a real pain, and then you know what, and just walk away. But you didn't. And each thing that just came, you just handled it. Were you happy about it? Probably not always. Did you know that was going to happen? Not really. But it didn't matter. You just kept at it and at it and at it. Now that's a winner. Win. I mean, that's perfect. I mean, I don't know what else to say, but thank you so much, because we all wouldn't be here today, and we all wouldn't have found our family, and our family is going to be growing as we go along because of the great vision and just your focus and your drive to do things that you know you were going to have fun with, but oh, you didn't know these were going to come with them too. You know, but you just kept doing it. So thank you very much. Thank you, Perry. I'm just going to clap. We're actually creating something that's just going to keep going on and on and on through the generations, actually, and it's just so amazing that we're starting from the beginning, and just to see where it goes, it's just going to be a journey, and it's going to be so much fun, really. I just can't wait to see the next events. And we've got a lot of things under our belt now. We know what to do and what not to do. But even those had moments, but they panned out and they worked out, and you could sit back and look at them like, it really wasn't that big a deal. Came back to that one. Go for the next one. What's the big deal? You know, so bring it on. Who cares? So, yeah, I just, I went home, and I'm still, I feel like I'm walking on water still. You know, it's just like I had my feet touch the ground yet. I'm not sure yet. I'm just really not sure. So it was just great being with family, and I feel like I came home to the family, because that's what it felt like. It really did. And everybody there just felt like you knew them. It was just perfect.
swooped out better than I can hope for. Anticipated. Everybody's comments were great. It really did describe what the event was like. It gave you a really emotional feeling. Everybody could really connect with what it was all about. It was more than just an event. It was an event.
There's the event, and you have an event.
It was like an old-fashioned revival. It felt to the core like a revival, but like we went into a place empty and came out overflowing with energy and love and new friends.
I have to make one comment too with Krista. Krista, was in Chicago and she had issues with her plane. And she was calling and said, I don't think I can make it. And I said, well, I understand that, because of bad weather there. She goes, wow. And it kind of ended. And then I get this phone call again, and I'm looking, and she goes, well, I'm on my way. I go, it's Saturday, we're almost done. She goes, yeah, but I made this commitment for the room. And I thought, wow, if that isn't commitment, that is commitment. Here's a gal who really missed the whole event, but because she made a commitment to go into that room, and what we did in that room was just utterly amazing. Just the connection and energy and what Cheryl and Krista created for all of us to help solidify and make the foundation for this group was utterly amazing. And I think I'm hearing still more comments, the power of that room outside of the event. It's moments like that. And it wasn't marathon seminars this whole time. We actually had to, socialize and eat and dance and have events and everybody commented because they're all calling me, do we have a meeting? And this was Sunday morning. I thought, no, just breakfast. Are you sure? No, just breakfast. Okay, yeah, but no, just breakfast. It's all good. And I'm like, wow, you can see where everybody was just relaxing. It was awesome. Here we are toasting champagne at breakfast. And I'm hearing more comments about moments like that. I'm not discounting the event. I'm just saying it's really those little moments that add up too, that make that event. And again, the room and the treatments and people bumping up that really want to help this club and have something added to it. Oh my gosh, what can you say? You can't say enough. It was just amazing. So Krista, when you're watching this video, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That was one thing that impressed me about her, because usually you don't see that in young people.
You don't see it.
You see it more in the older population, or older people, but that commitment, she had made that commitment, and she didn't want to break that commitment. And she did whatever she had to do to get on a plane and get there for that Sunday morning.
That will stand out in my mind forever. I mean, really. She really didn't have to do that. And she wasn't here that long. I mean, she barely made it in for,
Well, she left at 3
Saturday night.
on Sunday.
Exactly. She literally came in and just kind of right out. So, thank you, Krista.
I haven't posted her testimony yet. It's awesome. I asked everyone their permission to post them, but when you read it, you're gonna go, oh my God. This
She was there the
woman,
whole time.
she did not get there till Saturday evening, so she caught the banquet, and that was it. And you would think, once you read this, that she must have been there the whole weekend.
Right.
That's the way it was, even toward Saturday night. It just kept getting more powerful. The connection of everybody kept getting stronger.
And John Malcolm, just the mere fact that this is, in the other club, I think he only went to like one event maybe. He goes, oh my gosh, I don't care what it takes the next time. And he says, I thought you guys all were here. I knew that I had to come to this event. He says, but I'll beat all of them the next time. So that's great.
Yeah, I know, he was talking then. This guy's from New Zealand. He was talking about, I felt the energy.
Yeah, for that.
There's no distance.
No, there isn't.
Right.
So feeling it off the phone and just feeling it from the group that he had
gonna flash on there. Oh, he came up to the room.
Hey,
Here's-
she's right there. On the right, come on.
She's on the phone.
Yeah, that's one of them
She's
too.
from Chicago. Oh, she
One of the things I really enjoyed was meeting, of course, meeting our WIN family from around the world.
Oh, yeah.
As was mentioned, we had WIN members there from New Zealand, Australia, from Canada, all across the United States. So that people from California.
John came up from Brazil.
Brazil.
Yeah, Britain.
Yeah, UK, Mexico City.
Yeah, I mean, quite global. Wow.
One,
Airlines go.
one interesting experience I had was during the event I saw an older couple that I had never met before. I see him different times throughout the event, but I didn't have a chance to talk to him. And right before I was getting ready to leave for my plane, I was waiting in the lobby and I saw them walking by. So I took that opportunity to go up to them and introduce myself and start talking. And it was really a pleasant experience. And we spoke for about 20 minutes, and it was really nice to meet them. And at the end, they said, well, in December, on December 17th, which is the time we're going to have our holiday meeting, holiday event, they said we'll be passing through Cleveland and we're going to stop for the event.
Oh, cool. All right.
So it really excited me to hear that. Some people I just met, but knowing they're WIN family, it really excited me to know that they were going to make the attempt to stop and come to our holiday event. Okay. Now I'm going to enter into the wrap-up phase of the meeting. I wanted to share an experience I had last night. A fellow WIN member texted me, and I wanted to share this with you because I think his concern and my addressing this concern is a valuable experience. Because the question he asked me is probably a question that many of you are going to ask or will be asked at some time. So I think our exchange really helped me out. He basically texted me and he said, Bruce, I'm thinking of leaving the club because I'm not really sure what I'm paying for it. So I responded back to him by saying, first let me say, well, before I tell you how I responded, if you go to the WIN website, there's an audio there that describes the value of the club. Number one, there's a plethora of valuable information you can get there that will help you understand what you're paying for, help you understand the value of what you're getting. You get much more value than what you're putting in. Well, my response to him was, basically I said, hey Jerome, the name's made up. It's good to hear from you. The bottom line is that your member benefits start with a WIN Success Training System, which allows for your growing as a person and spiritual being. This is the main benefit that WIN has to offer its members, which is saying a lot. Growth comes from the levels training, the club meetings, and your personal association with other like-minded members. The level 1 training is very powerful if you listen to it slowly, carefully, and take the time to think about it. There are 3 segments on this member site right now, and at least 3 more segments coming. The website is being added to all the time with things like the recently added recommended book list. The local meetings are for member training as well. The recent family reunion major event was an awesome training experience. And I text this out, so you can imagine it took me 2 hours to text this. WIN will expand its member benefit as the club grows. If you have time to come to the meetings and also engage in the WIN system more, I think you'd appreciate the benefit of being a WIN member more. Also remember, even though we've come a long way in a short time, WIN is still in its infancy as a club. Can you make it to the meeting tomorrow? His response, thanks Bruce, my schedule won't allow for me to attend. I have an event I have to be at. So I responded back, no problem. Maybe you can make the December 3rd Acres of Diamonds meeting. The See You at the Top meeting is mainly dedicated to personal growth, whereas the Acres of Diamonds meeting is mainly dedicated to reviewing and discussing the level 1 training in detail. Have fun at your event. His response, cool, I'm interested. And then he followed up with, thank you. So I know him, and I know that couple of minutes of exchange really refocused him, revitalized him, and you can tell even excited him. So I just thought that was something to be prepared for. People ask that, why am I in school? Why am I paying this money? You're paying it, you're getting a lot out of it. You just have to take the time to see the big picture and really get engaged. So people who aren't really engaged are the people who will ask that question.
Good job, Bruce.
Okay, next. Thanksgiving is going to be here before our next meeting. So I would like to wish you all a happy and festive Thanksgiving. Maybe a little Macy's Day parade, watching plenty of holiday food, maybe some football watching, let that food digest, maybe even some liquid spirits. And my disclaimer is, remember, always drink responsibly. All right, next, Beverly has an announcement about the holiday meeting, December 17th.
Oh, yeah. I originally sent out an email about the Christmas party. I think we're going to have to change the plans. Judging from the feedback I'm getting already, we're going to do it at the Hyde Park, but I think we're just going to have it here. So that way all can attend. And it'll be on that night. So we'll probably do it in, and I'll create another email. We'll probably do it in the fashion that we'll do a white elephant gift thing. Everybody seems to like that. And everybody bring a dish. And again, I'll work on all the details and we'll send that out. And I'm going to do fun job tonight. I'm going to watch and relax. It's peaceful tonight for the room. So, yeah, give me a day or two and I'll work on the details and I'll just send that out. I think it'll work out best for everybody. So, and make sure you bring your family and friends and not just us.
That'll be December 17th right here.
Yes.
And that'll be the meeting that our friends from the southeast will be coming.
That's perfect.
And Beverly has, Dorothy has something to share with us about an event this Saturday.
Yeah, there's an open house at the Dynamic Center in Parma this Saturday from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. It's literally that. It's a time to just kind of arrive in the Dynamic Center and meet the person who's been the course supervisor of your personal values and integrity, have some appetizers, have some cocktails, have some wine, and there's going to be actually a special recognition given to Mr. Crowley here for all the work he has done and all the help he's given to that sister or that organization that exists that gives us some tools that we can reach out to. And just an opportunity where, with nobody trying to say anything, but this is a place where there's courses and there's a purification rundown. You can see the center and socialize, and you can come and go. You can stop in for a few minutes and have a glass of wine with us. It's a theme party. We're all coming, those who want to, are coming dressed in the 1950s clothes. I have a cute pair of shoes and a skirt I found today.
And then you just wear your usual.
And the recent 1950 is the year that Aaron ever released the book Dianetics. He first published it then, and we just thought that we'd do a little bit of a play on that thing.
Great idea.
Okay.
So you could drive your 57 Chevy.
56.
56.
As has been mentioned many times, Ed's doing a great job with the website.
Yeah, thank you.
So make sure you take advantage, go there often, because things are changing often. A lot of things are being added to it. I mentioned a couple things to people recently about what's been added and they were unaware, so if you snooze, you lose. Go to the website often and check out what's being added there. All right, lastly, before we leave, I wanted to share this quote from Marianne Williamson's words that were chosen by Nelson Mandela as part of his inaugural speech. It's a great quote. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful, beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I? To be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous. Actually, who are we not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking, so other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And so be it. And that concludes tonight's meeting.
Thank you.